go. Welcome to the narrative Nizzle of Lizzles. If this is your first time tuning in, I really, really appreciate you taking your time to come to my podcast. I really do. I mean, if I could give you a hug, I would, but I can't. And I'm glad COVID is over because you wouldn't even get a hug. You get a wave and you get what they call them things, a air hug. That's what they call them. But I appreciate y'all coming through. And if you get a chance, feel free to go back and do previous episode. I appreciate that too, so you see what the podcast is all about. I don't know, I'm trying something different. I kind of hate my voice. So I figured, it's time to kind of have fun. Because with podcasts, you get so wrapped up into making it work. And, we never try to experience other things to see, maybe people might like other things that I really don't know. So, the only way to find out is to try things and, see what happens. So I'm going to read this story. And then I'm going to try to, I might cycle through a few voices. Maybe. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I appreciate y'all coming through. I really do. That's, I'd give you my, if I was real wrong, I'd give you my cash app and say, send me a little something. Just a little something. I appreciate it, Dip in your bankroll and, send your boy a little something. I got you. Here we go. This story is called The Monday Key. Alara had always considered her Mondays to be the most steadfast of days. A granite slab in the week's otherwise shifting sands. Yet this particular Monday began with the irresistible truth that her toothbrush, a sensible blue plastic, had sprouted tiny, intricate clockwork gears overnight. They whirred faintly as she picked it up, the bristles now shimmering with incandescent oil. Y'all can see where this is going, but I won't give it away too quick. She blinked, set it down, and reached for the kettle. The kettle, however, was no longer on the hob. Instead, a miniature, perfectly formed cumulus cloud hovered precisely where it should have been, dribbling a fine mist that smelled distinctly of rusted iron and forgotten lullabies. When she tried to touch it, her fingers passed through, leaving faint shimmering trails in the air that faded quicker than morning dew. Deciding coffee was a luxury she couldn't forego. I know how that is. Alara made her way to the living room. The sofa, usually a comforting expanse of beige, was now a single, enormous, meticulous tailored shoe. Yeah. It seemed to be carved from polished dark wood with laces made of braided moonlight. A faint, muffled thumping emanated from deep within its heel. Alara, I got dimes if you need them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to make a little change. She peered out the window. The street, typically bustling with hurried pedestrians, and it sounded like New York almost. And rumbling buses was utterly still. The asphalt had peeled back like a vast dark fruit, revealing an intricate tapestry of star charts and whispered apologies beneath. The lamppost pulsed with a soft bioluminescent glow. That was a tongue twister. Each one emitting the faint, resonant note of a different string instrument, creating an ethereal, dissonant symphony that tickled her inner ear. Sound like bass. Back in the day, bass be hitting so hard you couldn't even breathe. A single figure stood in the middle of the tableau. It was our neighbor, old Mr. Henderson. But he was no longer quite himself. His head was perfectly ripe avocado, or watermelon head. His arms were long, flexible rubber bands, and his legs moved in the rhythmic, mechanical precision of a metronome. Go ahead, Mr. Henderson. Mr. Henderson said, I can get down. Don't try me now. He was conducting the lamppost with a spoon. Sounded like Mr. Henderson had a couple shots too. Alara felt a strange calm settle over her. She knew, with the clarity of a dream, just before waking, that she had a choice. She could try to find a door and step out into the star-charged street. Perhaps join Mr. Henderson with his drunk ass in his symphony, or she could sit on the giant wooden shoe, listen to its muffled thumping, and wait for Tuesday to arrive, if indeed Tuesday still existed in this newly rearranged world. Okay, I'll be honest with you. It sounds like Mr. Henderson was a hobo sitting outside the liquor store, drunk as hell, and sound like he was talking so much that she just said, you know what, I instead of standing here and listening to him run his mouth, I might as well sit down. She chose neither. Instead, she noticed an unfamiliar keyhole etched into the smooth, featureless surface of the wall beside the window. It hummed with a low, inviting frequency. Reaching into her pocket, she found a key she'd never seen before. A key made of intricately wound glass filament, glowing with an internal silent fire. Now, I give you 3 guesses if you can figure out what you think that is. I know what I think it is, but I ain't gonna say nothing. With a click that resonated not in her ears, but in the deepest parts of her bones, she turned the key. The walls dissolved into a swirling vortex of deep violet and emerald green, revealing not another room, but a vast silent ocean where the waves were made of pure thought, and the horizon shimmered with the promise of 1,000 unfolding possibilities, all equally absurd and utterly captivating. She stepped right on through it. Now, I'ma just be honest with you. It sounds like Alara was a crackhead at the crack house. I ain't gonna even lie. You know, the whole, she saw another room and stepping through, doors and singing stuff. Yeah, she has some good stuff. Yeah, Alara, if you get a chance, I'll give you my address. Send me some of that. I need some. Oh, Alara. Oh, shoot, Alara. It ain't nothing wrong with being a crackhead. It ain't nothing wrong with it, I don't know. It's, like I filed on it. That's this episode. Y'all tell me if you like the voice I'm using. There's other ones that I have here. I mean, it's like, the voice changes pains with my mixer. So I figured I would try to tell a story with this voice. But if you all want to hear other voices, I can do them. I can do one sounds like a robot. There's another one that sounds like a demon, lower voice or whatever. So leave a comment and let me know if you like it. You want to hear more like this. and think of that nature. I appreciate y'all viewing. See you in the next episode.